It's Friday Eve, it's Thursday evening, in other words, and this is weather for Weather Geeks as we get set for the weekend, and finally it's going to start feeling more like summer over the next few days, but we got off to another downright chilly start this morning. It was even cooler than yesterday morning in some parts of the area. These, of course, are unofficial thermometers across our viewing area, and, you know, this thermometer in Salem read 41. That's a traditionally cooler spot right around the Salem area. There's some topography at play there where you have some sheltered valleys that tend to get cooler. Also down towards the Ohio River, it was cool this morning from Calcutta and East Liverpool, and then heading over into the river valleys in parts of western PA as well, including around central Lawrence County, where it got down to 44 around the Newcastle area. First thing this morning, regional airports. These are the official readings. 46 at the Youngstown Warren Airport this morning, 44 in New Philly, just like yesterday morning. Zanesville was 45, and Pittsburgh dropped below the 50-degree mark as our Thursday got underway. Now, over the last couple of weeks, warmer than average temperatures have been hard to come by. We've only had 2 warmer than average high temperatures over the last 12 days. That was back on the 15th and then on the 17th. Other than that, though, we've been below the average pretty consistently, and that means that our monthly departure from average now at the Youngstown Warren Airport is a little bit below zero, below average, I should say. Now, that's going to change. I think starting Saturday, taking us through the end of the month, we're going to have warmer than average temperatures, which should mean that August will go into the record books as a warmer than average month, despite a lack of warmth over the last couple of weeks for the most part. Now, when it comes to precipitation, aside from one day, and that was back on the 6th when we had over 2 inches worth of rain at the airport, it has been fairly dry of late, including another 0 on the board today. And since today is Thursday, we got an update from the U.S. Drought Monitor today, including an expansion of the extreme drought designation in parts of Ohio, and not far from our television viewing area, down into Jefferson County, closer to Wheeling, Steubenville, and on south. Extreme drought conditions noted out down there. Things are not as dry around our viewing area. Now, we have some patchy dry spots, but generally speaking, it was drier in our viewing area earlier in the summer, back into late June into July, than it has been over the last month or so. But yeah, parts of, I'll zoom out a little bit on this, parts of southeast Ohio into West Virginia, this has been a very dry area for not only, recent times over the last couple weeks, but really going all the way back to late spring. Places like Cambridge, Wheeling, Morgantown, Charleston, Marietta, Parkersburg, Athens, all those places have definitely been pretty dry over the last several months. Now, our weather modeling is pretty stingy with the raindrops over the next week, not indicating a whole lot coming our way. Now, we have introduced a small chance of a shower or storm into our forecast for the middle of next week, but at this point, we're kind of trying to catch butterflies with a net here a little bit. There's no obvious rain chances coming our way in the foreseeable future. Now, that may change with the arrival of a cold front at some point late next week, but we're still far enough out from that getting real specific is not something we can really do, but there may be 1 or 2 chances for showers and storms during the course of the Canfield Fair. We'll talk more about the fair in just a second, but nationwide, it's another quiet evening, and when we look at the dew point map this evening locally, of course, our dew points are quite low for the summer season, upper 40s to around 50 are local dew points, but the dew points are quite a bit higher out to the west, and the first of 2 warm fronts will track our way over the next 48 hours. But first, just a beautiful day on Friday. Another cool start. I think a lot of us will see the 40s again Friday morning, but then pushing 80, finally more seasonable in the afternoon. There's our first warm front lifting through Saturday. This doesn't have the higher dew points with it, but it will usher in the middle 80s, above average temperatures by Saturday afternoon. I think there can be a few fair weather clouds Saturday morning, but it should be just mostly sunny for the afternoon. Just a delightful summer afternoon on Saturday. The second warm front then tracks our way on Sunday, and this is the front that will unlock those dew points that are up in the 60s and maybe even pushing 70 towards the middle of next week. But yeah, really nice summer weekend heading our way. 84 on Saturday. For the Panerathon on Sunday, if you are participating or are a spectator in that great event in Youngstown on Sunday, mid-morning temperatures already in the 70s, making our way to 86 in the afternoon. The dew points start to come up Sunday, and then we'll really notice the heat and humidity for next week. And speaking of next week, I mentioned we go above the average on Saturday, and it looks like we stay that way right through the end of the month. I still think that the hottest part of the Canfield Fair is likely to be the beginning of the fair, next Wednesday, next Thursday. And at some point, a cold front might bring some rain chances as we head towards maybe Friday-ish, Friday to Saturday perhaps, late next week into the beginning of the following weekend. And that will perhaps give us some rain chances, but higher confidence at this point that the tail end of the fair will be the cooler part of the fair. Looks pretty hot to open up the Canfield Fair here in 2024 with highs in the upper 80s. But there are some changes in the 8 to 14 day outlook. So this basically takes us from Labor Day weekend into the following week when a lot of people head back to work and school after the long holiday weekend. And although you see orange here in eastern Ohio and western PA, just off to our north and west, you can see there's a cooler air mass up across the Midwest that's going to be tracking south and east. And so I think we are going to cool things off. Not as cool as it has been this week, but a cooler pattern will try to take shape for a time after the Labor Day holiday weekend. I do think that September, as I speculated on Weather for Weather Geeks earlier on this week, September is likely to be not especially hot. Now, will it be a cooler than average month? Maybe it's close, but I don't think it's going to be some sort of a blowtorch September like we've had with a fair amount of frequency over the last 10 days. That'll do it for me on this Thursday evening. Just a reminder, as we head into football season, no Weather Geeks on Friday evenings during high school football season, as long as the weather is quiet like it will be. So I won't have Weather Geeks for you on Friday, but I'll see you right back here on Monday. In the meantime, have a great Thursday night, a great Friday, and a great weekend.